going down, people? It's your boy Maya Crawl, host of Here for the Dads podcast with episode 9. I've been waiting on this episode all week. I've literally had a chance to reach out to Jecorey Hawkins, a favorite comedian of mine, on Instagram. Like, I've been literally watching this stuff like day by day. I send it to all my friends. I send it to my wife. I don't want to take too much away from the intro that he's going to give. We're going to get into it a little bit, but first I want you to hear from him. What's going on, dog? How you doing?
What up, though, good people? How's it going, audience? Appreciate you bringing it out, man. I really like these type of moments is humbling for me because it's like it's cool when people reach out and just like, hey, I like your stuff. It's like, cool, man. I kind of like it. So yeah, Jecorey Hawkins, based in Flint, Michigan, comedian. And that's kind of how the whole video content and stuff started going. I was just looking for a way to work out new material, and then I'm a dad, also a single dad, and so that material was just always there. And I found a lane on Instagram, mainly Instagram, and it kind of took off there. And yeah, it's been really cool, figuring out the whole algorithm stuff and having all the random people reach out to me in my DMs and the fun comments and the rude comments. I enjoy them all.
I bet there are some people get real bold on Instagram and social media, dog. Real bold. Like,
yeah, man.
I can't find you, man. I can find you.
No, this one dude came on a comment. It was like one of the ones we talking about my daughter eating. He was like, he called us ratchet. And I was like, I don't like that. And so he had this link in his bio. He had like the SoundCloud link in his bio, found his whole Facebook, found his kids' names. Just like, hey, man, said, I don't think your two sons would appreciate you talking like this on the internet.
You caught him on some equalizer stuff.
Delete the post. So leave me alone, man. If he wouldn't have called us ratchet, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But I was like, man, it felt racist. So
yeah, bro. Sometimes you gotta go catch people, man. Just let them know they can be reached out and touched. You know what I'm saying?
Like you findable. Like you're not a ghost, man.
That's what people be thinking. They're not that good at hiding their own stuff. But I know for me, when the first time I saw you, bro, I was like, everything he's saying is extremely relatable. Like, we talk in the house all the time, and even on this podcast, there's no way to truly prepare for what fatherhood or parenthood will look like at all until you get into it. And sometimes things happen in my house that I just be like, there's no way I can be like I'm the only one dealing with this. So the fact that you take the time to sit down and record and tell people like, hey, y'all, I don't know why she eating like this. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite ones you talked about. Like, you just share those experiences. Tell me about how you even come to work that new material and talking about parenthood and being a father for sure.
So a lot of it, especially at the house, I just like, I'll look at her doing something and I'm like, this shit is kind of crazy. And then I go outside and I'll start talking about it. And since I have the comedian aspect to me, I'm always working out material and looking for ways to make things a little more humorous. But really just be me watching her and maybe like a mini exaggeration here and there or a little bit of dramatized. But like that's just like what I see her doing. And it's just literally how I think about it. It's like, this shit is crazy. It's like, I've seen what you've been eating all day. Why are you still this active? There's no way that I could survive like you. And so it's just like, yeah, I just really just go outside and start freestyling and whatever. Like,
I like. Were you a comedian
keep it
before you had a kid?
So it started like almost around the exact same time. So my very first stand-up set was 2019, October 26th of 2019. And I think we had just found out that we had a kid coming like right in that same time frame. So right as I was planning to start comedy, that's when we found out about the world shut down. And also she was a NICU baby.
Oh yeah,
and so yeah, and so we were just, I definitely took like a step back, but I had already, kind of had started it off a little bit. So yeah, around the same time, honestly.
So, like, let's say leading into father, do you think that kind of changed your perspective and on like your career? What things changed when you found out you were going to be a father?
It definitely changes just everything. It's like, there's no way that it doesn't impact every aspect of life, especially, comedy is like every time I go out and do a show, it's like I got to leave my kid behind. I gotta, figure out babysitting or connect with her mom. Me and her mom not together no more. So I was like, I gotta connect. But I gotta jump through so many hoops to go hit this mic. So I was like, I gotta make it worth it. And definitely having a kid, like just on a life changing area. Before I worked in education, I got a degree, a master's degree in higher education, student affairs. And I was doing that for a few years. And then after I had my daughter and also COVID, I'm like, I want to spend more time with my kids. Like, I don't want to just be stuck 8 hours a day at somebody's school or whatever. And so I transitioned into working into the tech industry because they have a lot of work from home jobs. And it's just like really my daughter was a main like motivator in that. It's like I need more money and I need to be at the crib to change. Definitely less selfish on me and just more like I gotta figure out this shit for this kid.
That's absolutely true. We were the same way. I mean, it's hard to not think about nobody else when you really only have yourself. So like when it was just me and I was thinking about school, I was thinking about what different jobs I can do, thinking about all this traveling. But as soon as you have kids and have somebody that's dependent on you, bro, it touches every aspect, all the way down to anything you eat. Like I used to like keeping little pieces of candy in the house every once in a while just for myself. But now I'm like, if I'm gonna start worrying about his health, I can't be, just leaving stuff out and all this other stuff. Maybe every once in a while, I'll brush my teeth whenever I want to. I might not brush it as soon as I wake up. But now with the kids, I gotta brush it right then because I might mess around and forget. And then now they walking around the school, mouth all jacked up, and you know what I'm saying? So everything touches it, man.
If you don't brush their teeth or your teeth as soon as the day start, right, it's gone from there. You gonna just look up a few hours later like, oh shit.
You mess around and forget, bro. It'd be Saturday, and it'd be like 4 p.m. and they, trying to whisper, be all up in your face. You like, dang, your breath. You think back like, oh, that's my fault. Like I didn't brush your teeth, bro.
I did that.
That's on me. It makes it hard though. It's like
shit is dumb.
It's things you take for granted, man. Like stuff that we've taught ourselves and things we do on routine every day. Every time you have to add something else to your plate or into the routine, it's really not a plate because it doesn't feel like a burden. We love them so much, but it's a new routine, bro. And how old is your
no? Yeah, absolutely. She's 3.
So yeah, you've seen your routines change a lot then.
Man, this shit is my routine is based on the day at this point. It's like I know things that we can do consistently, and then if it don't go that way, it's like all right, let's figure it out from here. Leaving the house is a whole task every time, and it's like if I got a plan to leave the house that day, it's like shit. That's like a hour block of time that I just got to think about for travel. It's like man, it's too much.
And then you talked about I saw on one of the reels that you posted, you talked about her just want to be independent. I know that probably makes it even harder to get out of the house. She want to do everything by herself.
Man, everything. Literally, that video is just accurate. I wasn't lying too much. I literally put her shoes on, shit, take them off. Like, I can do it. Like, I know you can, but come on. Shit. Then she got to bring her little stuffed animals, and then she got to buckle them into the seatbelt. It's like, oh my god, it's like fuck these little guys. They got to stay in the car.
Bruh, that's the only way to do it, man. And they got so many of them too. You don't even know which one they're in love with at the point in time. Like I mess around and bring Sonic before you go to sleep. Come to find out you wanted Mario. But I'm like, bro, I really don't got time for this, man. I don't have time.
It's like fuck Sonic now. It's like I hate it.
No, I'm with you on that
it's
one.
Like,
and you got
shit is wild. You just got to go with the flow.
You got girls. I mean, you have a baby girl, and I got all boys. So, like, what type of things is she into right
now? Let's see. It depends. She like playing doctor. She like doing cooking stuff because she watches me cook, and so it's just like she likes to copy that. She like to chase me around the house, make me chase her around the house. She like to be tossed around. I don't know. It just depends. She like the other kids. She a social kid, so anything involving anybody else, she down for to get down. Yeah, I don't know. She just do random stuff and just start entertaining her. So her imagination is wild. Playing with her is difficult because her games are just like they be changing in the instant.
She be switching the rules up on you, dog.
Yeah, switch rules up. Characters change. It's like she hand me Peppa Pig, but this Bluey. I'm like, okay, you have a bluey, but okay, and you just got to go with it.
Yeah, you ain't got no choice, man. The kids really be in control when it comes to all that. And you said she.
Nah, and then I'm pretty sure you get this as a black dad. They're like, "Oh, I just love to see this." It's like, get the fuck out
I
of
know,
my
like,
face,
bro,
man.
like I did the same thing you did. We got in the bed, didn't take us that long. Before you know, 9 months later, came out. Like, what did you expect
Now we're
me to
here.
do, man? And I
So yeah,
definitely
people
understand.
parent every day.
And you said you're at home most of the times too. You're doing the single parenting thing. So when you go out, even when you do like little activities and events, for me it becomes extremely uncomfortable. As sometimes when I go to these different events, my wife might tell me like, "Hey, go to the library. They got like toddler time," and I'm like, "All right, cool." When I go, bro, I don't see nobody that look like me. It's the staying home,
Oh,
maybe younger or middle aged mom running around with little Tommy and stuff. And I'm like, bro, what are we supposed to talk about? Like, they're gonna say and look at me the same way when they try to
absolutely
be nice.
nothing.
I'm just like, bro, I don't feel comfortable.
I push all conversation through the kid. So if they say anything to me, I just direct the conversation, like kid focus. It's like we don't have to, like we can talk about what they're doing. Like if we don't have to relate on something, we see what they're doing in front of us. Oh, that's so funny. It's like, all right, cool, back your ass up though, because I would literally never talk to you in any other spaces other than this fucking hour long play group full of random kids.
Absolutely. People need to know that. And I'm pretty sure some people, I don't know if you've ran into a lot of people that know you or have seen you on Instagram. Have you been in those situations before?
Very rarely, not in any of the parent spaces.
Okay.
Crazy enough, I think. So I live in Flint, and my demographics, like Flint, isn't my highest demographic for whatever reason. It's actually
Mm,
New York,
really?
randomly. But it's like I've had a couple people like that I know socially that have recognized me off of it, and they'll be like, hey, I love your content. I'm like, thanks. And then, but new people, I don't. Maybe once, but that was just like, hey, like somebody just randomly like, hey, I like your comedy. I was like, oh shit, thank you.
Oh, smooth. Because I was going to ask, I was like, I wonder if people caution themselves when talking to you or maybe mentioning your kid, knowing that you're a comedian, you mess around and give them all that smoke. Like you were talking about the one dude who was hitting you up about the ratchet joint. He ought to be careful.
No, yeah, no, people know that just in general. I've always been like the roasting type,
Oh,
and so people, if people are in my circle, they tend to tread lightly unless they like, because I'll fuck you up. I don't care. So I did have a friend. He called my daughter a Poindexter. I was like, nigga, what you say?
like, I'm gonna give you this one chance. This one chance.
Then he clarified. He's like, yeah, that's what I said. I lit him up for like an hour, just like
He deserved it, bro. At
I,
that point,
I brought other people in on it. I was like, I'm like, y'all agree with this?
at this
Yeah,
point,
so
bro,
people will tread lightly though.
that's good. That's smart. You did you go to public school? I'll just ask it like that. I've been to Flint, Michigan. It looks a lot more kind of like Durham, North Carolina, where I'm from. And when you're at that younger age,
So
bro, you get taught how to roast. If you don't know how to roast or protect yourself, you just gonna be dead on the street somewhere, bro.
absolutely, man. I used to get called Flavor Flav because I had
Mm-hmm.
braids, and like that was right when Flavor of Love came out. I was like, y'all got me on this one. So this, but I actually went to a suburban school from like middle school up and out.
Okay.
Uh, but I lived in Flint, and so like I learned to roast just around the hood,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would go to Grand Blanc, and they thought they had jokes. I was like, nah, y'all, I got jokes. Like
Y'all have no clue. Stand by.
I come through the fire to get here, guys. Y'all don't. So yeah, I would definitely tear people up in school and out of school because I was like, y'all not about to roast me.
I could only imagine your daughter growing up hearing you. I don't know how humorous you are around her. If you like let a couple jokes fly here and there. She's only, what you say, 3 years old? Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
she's only about 3 years
Yeah,
old, but
no,
she's going. I know she's probably taking in a lot of that too. Is she humorous? Could you see maybe comedy in her future?
absolutely, absolutely. She's a goofy ass kid, man. She out goofies me sometimes for sure. I was like, damn, relax. But yeah, she catch all the jokes. I don't really hold up on her either. It's like if she do something, then she might catch a few jokes right in a second because like whatever. So I don't know what you can understand, but you getting on my nerves. So
You gonna get this work. So stay less.
you gonna get this work too, just like anybody else. But nah, definitely she's funny. She'll like play little jokes. She likes to laugh. She's like all about the silliness. So I'm really hoping she grows up with some thick skin and she also can roast people. That's really my main, like one of my main goals for her as a developing human.
I might need some lessons on that, bro, because I'm on the other side of the spectrum when it comes to like the thick skin. Like I got the thick skin. I grew up with it. I had that, that strong public school upbringing where you on the bus and it's nothing but roasting the whole way there and back. If you in the football locker room and somebody say something, you ought to know how to come back and get it. Every once in a while, I try to. Me and my wife, we even know how to get it. She from Chicago, moved to Georgia, so she know what to do too. We get back and forth.
Oh yeah.
But I think I've been maybe shying away from giving it to my son. I should have gave it to him earlier because like the other day I tried to hit him with something, just something small, big head ass, something like that, nothing too crazy. And dude was about to cry, and I was like, ah. He's like, why'd you call me big head? And I was like, oh man, this gentle parenting stuff is not really helping me out. Like I need thicker skinned kids. Like I need him to be able to be ready for when this happens, especially if I'm putting him in private school, because when that mix happens, he ain't gonna know what to do.
Nah, yeah, I definitely think they need it. I really like if I roasted my daughter and she got sensitive once she starts to understand my words, I probably just repeat it and be like, "This is why I said it." Like he had to break it down to her. I don't know. That's why you gotta, I don't know, say it with your chest at that point. It's like, hey, don't be sad that you got a big ass head. It's okay.
Look, daddy got a big head.
I got
you
it.
got it from me. It ain't your fault.
We all got big. All right, it's cool. It's just an observation. It's not a diss. You just got a big ass head.
I don't think my oldest son, understands really how jokes work right now. He's trying to put it together. Like
How old is he?
He's 5. He'll be turning 6 in January.
5.
He's doing like the, rise the refrigerator running type jokes like that. He's starting with the, the chicken cross the road. Like I need to get him in there. I want him to be able to observe and do it. When I do that, my wife she be getting mad at me, bro. She like, baby, you can't talk to him like that. He's gonna, do this or you're gonna get mad and that. I'm like, no. He a boy. He old enough. He need to get it. Need to learn how to do this. Especially because my side of the
Does he see y'all roasting each other?
Again?
Does he see y'all roasting each other?
You know what? I don't think so. Maybe that's it. Because when we roast each other, it's just us. Like I'll see him like, aha, like something out of Vaseline. Need to get them lips right. And we'll go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? A little small jaded stuff. Maybe we don't do it around him as much. I'm gonna throw that in there because he needs to see that. Especially on my side of the family, bro.
You need to see.
As soon as we walk in the house with grandma, grandpa, uncles, everybody gonna get it. Like he gonna have to be ready for
that. Are people? Is this live?
No, it's not live. We good.
I just seen like a light go up on your screen. I was confused. I was like, people reacting.
So me and Sony, sometimes he has a mic and sometimes he doesn't. So today he doesn't have a mic. So whenever he has a question, he'll put it on like a little note for me to read it. So I'm going back and forth reading. You saw the light. You was like, what? Paparazzi?
What's going on, man?
Nah, you good.
Nah, but that's cool. So you said your family is some roasters?
Oh, yeah. They straight roasters. They out in the country, too, so they be prepared. They literally just do nothing but probably practice their craft.
That's funny. I'm trying to think. My mom's side, we're more of a close-knit side of the family. And so in our house, the people that we interact with, I'm the prime roaster. My mom, she has it in her, but she don't bring it out a lot. And then my 2 little sisters, they got a little bit of dog in them. My older brother, he ain't roasted since, I don't know, when he too angry to roast, I think, nowadays. So it's not as fun for him. Yes. And then my dad's side, I tag their ass too. I'm trying to think, but my dad got like, he had 15 kids in total. Okay. And so from the ones that are with his wife, that's like the ones I'm like the closest with. So I'll be tagging their ass over when I see him. Sure. But it's always out of love.
Roasting is always out of love. The thing is about jokes and stuff, there's got to be some truth to it. If it ain't got no truth to it, it probably won't even be funny. But you got to still know how to take it. If you just coming in too angry, if you coming in too angry, you trying to joke, they're like, bro, okay, you mad. Now we're either going to have to fight or we need to have a conversation about whatever you're upset about. Other than that, bro, just give it to me. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where you're coming from when you say that.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So I wanted to ask too, as being a comedian, I know from being in the military and doing instructional courses that public speaking is probably one of the most feared things. I think if everybody in America could vote on the one thing that's probably the most feared is public speaking. People are afraid to be judged, and sometimes when you go up there, you got to be very bold, know how to talk and speak in public. In what ways would you maybe give a tip to a parent who's trying to teach their child how to be more, I guess, bold and prepared to speak in public for things that might be, a lecture. Maybe they're learning how to do some instructional courses. Maybe they want to start getting into content creation and influencing. What tips might you give them?
With the public speaking thing, I don't know. People have asked me this before, and it's kind of difficult for me. I've been doing public speaking since like Easter
Oh, wow. Yep.
speeches, and so it's like, and so this is like that. I don't know, being in front of people. Like once I did that, like I couldn't even really like read speeches that well. So it was like doing that a few times is like, I don't know, you start to get over it. But when I talk to other comics, like around like how they feel before going up on stage, I just like address it at the root of it. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you think is gonna happen? It's like, I might bomb. It's like, okay, you might bomb.
Yeah.
Then what? And so it's just like kind of de-escalating that like nervous, like fear part about it, because like shit, like it's not like somebody's gonna go up there and throw a tomato at you. It's like they might not like it, they might like it, and that's okay. Both sides are okay. It's like you're not everything isn't going to be great. You got to start from somewhere and go, go through the rest. And so, yeah, I know some people are just super nervous about it. I met comics like first time comics who like were shaking before they went up on stage. And just like, hey, y'all, it's like relax, man. And like it's like they're here to see you. They're here to see you do well. Nobody's here to see you not do well. And so relax, take your time, baby. like they said in the Easter speeches, just relax.
Yeah, just relax, right? And that's what it is. In them Easter speeches, I just go up and say Jesus wept and then slide out. Like I wasn't I wasn't too hard on them. I've gotten better, but yeah, that's it.
Man, now them shits. I feel like I remember going up there in like a blue suit, a nice like blue like pink, the old school. I don't know what I was talking about, but I remember my mom like being in the back, like mouthing words, trying to help me get through like the little piece of it. Cause like, man, why y'all got me up here talking?
All these kids
that
up
I really
there
don't
going
know.
one after the other, trying to do the speeches and stuff. You got all the old folks sitting up in the front row. They might have given you a piece of candy once or twice, but you don't actually know their name. So like, yeah, I remember all of that. But I want to get deeper into the fatherhood conversation. Could you list maybe a challenge that you've had in just being a father, either now or previously might
Probably like my biggest struggle, if it's not like finances, because finances have definitely been a unique struggle. When we first had the kid, pandemic had started. My job had went to work from home, and my child's mom, her job was still like in person, and so we made the decision for her to leave her job because like it was like a shelter gig, and so like it was around like high risk people, and we had the kid NICU, and so at that point we went from a 2 income household to just me working, and it's like this is a lot, yeah. But I think my biggest overall stress is just simply like that shadow feeling of not doing enough. You see other kids around the same age. They might be doing a little more, might be doing a little less, whatever, just doing something different. And it's just like, it's like I'm the one that's supposed to, instill whatever lessons my daughter has to get better. It's like, so it's like always that like, what more could I be doing? Am I doing enough in whatever?
So how do you think you overcome that? Or how have you overcome that? Is that something you're still dealing with?
Yeah, so it's a day by day thing. Overall, like in the moment, I was just like, I just come to like the realization, like, hey, like there isn't one way that a kid is supposed to be. I know that my daughter's healthy, she's happy, and she's doing well, right? She's growing at her own rate. She's always done that. She's always shown us that she gonna do everything on her own time. And I think sometimes I'll be trying to put her on my time, and it's like once I like take off that expectation and that stress, it feels a lot better. So it's just like it's definitely not like a one and done moment. I'm like over the feeling. So it's just, when it comes, I just have to break it down and like truly process the thoughts that are
we
creating the
already
emotion.
put enough expectation and stress on ourselves, like you mentioned. As soon as you have the kid, you're already thinking about the different pressures of, finances, things that I should be instilling in my child. And a lot of the times we don't have the guideline to do it. We don't have any tips written down. Sometimes our homeboys who may have kids don't necessarily come up to you and just start talking about, hey, bro, prepare for this feeling. This is going to come and you're going to feel some pressure. It's okay. Like, you don't have to have all the answers. Or you may or may not have a father present in your life. So you're like, I don't even know how I'm supposed to do this. You know what I'm saying? And either you get afraid and step out and don't do it at all, or you go too hard, put too much pressure on yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, because I grew up in a single parent household. And so, like, all I had was my mom as a view of a parent. Like, my dad was around to some regard, but like, my main source was moms. And so, like, I think I just take it as a parent, It's like she had to show up fully for me. So, that's what I think of when I show up for the kids. So, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I got to show up.
Yeah, showing up
Shit,
honestly
it's going to
is
start from
enough,
there.
bro. You say it. Go ahead. You say you
I'll
be
be on
on
Google.
Google.
Google, like, man, what am I supposed to be doing today on 2 years, 305 days?
Yeah,
Like, what am I supposed to be doing in development? It's like, I don't fucking know.
And thankfully, we do have things like Google, and we do have things like YouTube and people showing and helping. Because let's say you're looking at maybe like a speech impediment or something like that, and you're looking to find different ways that you can help out in that area, or you don't know if your child has a special or education need. You know what I mean? You can go on Google or YouTube and look for something like that. But one thing that I love that you do is helping fathers. I know you're doing it, but I don't know if you know how well you're doing it. Helping fathers feel included. Like, literally, when I listen to your Instagram reels, I feel that. Like, as soon as you started talking about your daughter not eating and she can live off, one gummy and the energy from the sun, I went back to a time when I was with my firstborn. Me and my wife were both dual military. We're going to sea back and forth. She'll go out for 3 weeks. I'll come back. I mean, she'll come back, then I'll go out for 3 weeks. Literally back and forth. So during that time, this is literally my first time with the baby boy by myself. No other friends really here. My family's a couple hours away. And I remember specifically one night I just could not get him to eat, bro. Like, everything was already hard at work. Couldn't get him to eat no mac and cheese. He was just screaming and crying in his seat. Couldn't give him no gummies. He didn't want nothing. And I was like, man, this is way harder than I ever given it credit for. And I was like about to break down and cry. And I was like, yo, like, what are these feelings I'm even having? Like, am I failing? And after that, like, I picked him up, held him. We just went to sleep. And the next day, like, it was like nothing ever happened. He was back to eating pizza and doing whatever was going on. But listening to your Instagram reel and the comedic relief I was able to get from that, I know fathers are hearing it. I know other parents are hearing it. Like, okay, it's not just me. So in the middle of this entire thing, I want to edify you and just tell you thank you for even doing that, because that's big, bro. That's really big. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate that. I definitely didn't realize it at first. Honestly, like when I first started the videos, it was genuinely just like, let me get this material out because I'm not hitting stages every day. And then it was like, yeah, the very first video that popped off was like the food one, and all the people in the comments like just like saying how relatable it was. I got so many DMs off of that one. It's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's like that's what's up. This is cool. And like it's like some of the comment sections have their own community that if anybody comes in with like like reckless, like little naysayers, like I don't like you're doing something wrong, they get jumped in the comments, and I just be watching that shit like, tear your ass up.
Get him, cuz. Get him, cuz.
Get him. She shouldn't have said something. So I don't know why you gonna come in this, especially white women. White women definitely they on my side in the comment section.
The whole Karen thing they got going on. You gotta be careful with that one.
No, it'd be the white women that be helping. Like they use the caring energy for good.
Yeah. No, because I've seen there's two separate sides. There's the Karen ones that'll go after the managers and like all the other stuff. Then there's a way to use it for good. I normally see the ones that use it for good on my wife's Instagram. When I go on there, she's got all the stay-at-home moms with all the tips on car seats, what to eat, how to take your Christmas pictures and stuff like that. I pull some of my inspiration from there. But essentially, that's where I started this whole podcast from. I kept seeing all that stuff on her Instagram, scrolling. I'm like, dang, like this is. I be wondering how you be knowing how to, find the right medicine for them, or how the car seat's supposed to, go right. You put the little thing up on the chest. Like I never would have known any of this stuff if I didn't get it from you. And when I realized, either she's spoken to somebody or she's just seeing it on her Instagram feed because people are talking about it. So to get people like you, yeah,
shit is real.
to get people like you who's starting to put it out there, or for me to start this podcast, start having these conversations, that's what's important. The guys need to hear it too. Like we want to be prepared, just as prepared as the women are.
No, absolutely. There are some moments where I'm on social media and I'll see some parents stuff, and it's always like mom specific, and I don't take it like offensive because I get it. A lot of times moms are in that space of, being the primary care holder or take care, whatever the word is for that primary person, and I'm like, but sometimes I'm like, shit, I do the exact same things, guys. It's like, the same complaints y'all have as moms, like I have as dads. It's like, but I get it. Y'all got the space. I'm not one of those. What about the men guys? Because I get it. Everybody. I would get jumped, and I know it, and so I get it. I definitely just be like, hey. But in my mind, I'd be like, you know what? A lot of us guys also go through the exact same, like stressed out knots, sleep struggles, or trying to figure out all the exact same components. That's one thing I wish society, will change one day. Like just the view that when you think parent, you don't automatically think mom. It's like two parents are typically there.
And that's why it's important to create a space for men and fathers to be able to have that same conversation, even outside of us. Because let's say now we're doing it right now, like having this conversation about the things that we're going through and our challenges. We still need to feel comfortable to have it outside of this space where there's also women or people who aren't, parents, and we're able to have those conversations with them. Because imagine if I just went to work talking about, hey, I'm not getting no sleep or this, and that. It won't be looked at the same, and I might not get the same grace from the people that I'm talking to as maybe my wife would, right? Even when you're talking about, maternity time and leave, we're not getting as long as maybe our wives would because we're not having a baby. And even if you're just trying to have the conversation in your house, it could always be turned around like, I can't believe you're trying to tell me about what you're going through when I'm going through this. You know what I'm saying? So they're always compared, and I don't feel like it should be compared. We should be able to have a conversation about fatherhood outside of the realm of motherhood and not have to compare the two so that we can, help fix and talk about these trials, tribulations, and challenges all together.
Yeah. And then also I acknowledge that how much of it overlaps. Like if you have two, like if you're an active parent, you're an active parent and you go through all the same details. I think nothing really changes between mom and dad. It's like if you there day to day, you there day to day. And like you are dealing with all those same struggles, moments of whatever. I feel like so much of motherhood, fatherhood overlap in my opinion. That's like, I think also just realizing, hey, there should be no reason to be going against each other, comparing and say, hey, we eating this shit together as parents.
I want to get into a conversation that I haven't yet had on the podcast at all, but I've had fathers talk to me about it. I've talked to a good friend of mine who I work with. It's around dating again. Like if you're in a co-parenting situation, or maybe you're a single father, what does dating again look like? I can't imagine the type of things now that might go through your head before having kids. It's like, oh, dating again. I broke up with Shawty, a couple weeks ago or whatever. I'm looking for this. She bad. She got this type of hair, this type of job, or whatever. It's a little bit looser because it's all about you. I imagine now that has changed a little bit. Not sure if you're ready to date again or anything like that, or if you've even started. Could you talk to me about that?
Yeah, so I haven't officially like jumped into the dating pool again. Just been out here being a hoe, to say the least. It's like, unintentionally, not trying to be a hoe, but it's just like, I was in a relationship for 10 years. And so it's a lot of people who had a little eye on me that as soon as they found out I was single, I was like, hey, what's going on? So it's like, I have those moments. But the thought of serious dating is so daunting almost because like not only am I bringing you into my life, is I got to figure out if we mesh and like each other and can communicate and do all the things that takes a relationship to go on. But now also it's like, are you willing to be a stepmama, not her only mama, but if you're a part of my life, you're gonna be a part of the kid life because there's we're a unit, and so I'm not asking you to come in and be the new mom, but like you're going to be in that role of also being a person in my child's life. And so just thinking about like I think I that's one of the main reasons I'm very hesitant around dating because not only am I like rebuilding life, but it's like if I bring you in, start to bring you around my daughter, like that's super serious. Like she's like that's the biggest person I gatekeep from society. Even with Instagram, I don't post her a lot. Like most of the stuff is just me because it's like people don't need to see her that much because for what? Uh, and so it's a lot. It's a lot of thought into it. Like, is this person going to be somebody that would be a good figure around the kid? And then also the conversation with the mom, like with my ex, that's not as difficult. We're like we've gotten past like all of those like emotional hangups around us moving on, so that part is cool. So that probably be like the easiest part of it all. But like bringing somebody into my kid's life, because like what if we don't work out? And I just created this bond with my daughter. She might be looking for you. Got to have these conversations around blah blah blah. So it's just we might get back into the dating pool like next year. I just started back working too, so I'm able to get my finances in order because that's also it's like can't be spending money on a woman. So I gotta buy diapers and shit like that. It's like I gotta prioritize the budget.
Let's say there's gonna be some ladies that's gonna be watching this podcast, and even as we chop it up and the clips and stuff like that, and I don't want them reaching out to me like, hey, Meyer, what's going on? I saw him, he's kind of cute, I like his head and his beard, and I'm just wondering what is he looking for. If you had to, I don't know, sprinkle something, maybe make the ideal, whatever. What is Mr. Jecorey Hawkins looking
So forever, like my ideal relationship has always been a best friend and somebody that you're also, romantic with. That's like it's so simple, but it's like for me, it's like if we're not genuinely connected, like we can't enjoy the most mundane tasks like riding in the car together. It's like we don't really got much. And so of course, it's like basic foundational things you can't get past, like, good communication, good understanding. You gotta come funny. You can't be unfunny in us work because that's just not gonna work out. Open minded, listening, all the basic things that make a good human. But we need that chemistry and that friendship for it to ever leave a friendly space. And so that's overall what I'm looking for. I definitely have people slide in my DMs. A few on the side of my DMs trying to figure it out. It's like, oh girl, you stay in California. It's like how's this gonna work?
That's gonna be too hard.
Nah, but it's a funny space, being like one of the dads on Instagram. So yeah, I really be out here in the DMs shooting.
You don't know until you in the space, right? But it's only gonna happen more, bro. I'm trying to tell you, especially as I hear we've had a conversation about like the dad bods and just dads being attractive, period. When women see that, they see how affectionate a man can be, and they see the passionate side. Because sometimes, when let's say you're not a father, right? You're just single guy going around. They might see more of the macho, the pride, the ego. They see the hardcore, the man who doesn't want to cry, and all these other emotions. When you give us those kids, a lot of that stuff can't be masked anymore. Now you're holding hands with a 3-year-old in Target. You know what I'm saying? That looks cute automatically, off real.
Right.
You're doing a little baby voice in the van. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they automatically see that. That's going to make you more attractive. So you better be prepared, bro. They come.
No, yeah. They automatically know you got a soft side because you got to take care of the little kid. And so, yeah, I do have a soft side. Hey, back up now.
Back up now.
So I'm nothing to play with. I'm just, I'm not great, but especially with being a comedian, people think I'm funny, and I feel like, and I can listen. I can listen to anybody because I'm okay with not talking in so many spaces. So I throw in a couple jokes. I listen. It's like, yeah, like, especially these Instagram women, they think I'm their next like father figure for their kids, and it's like, no, I'm not, and,
Yeah, and
and
that's
that's
okay.
okay. I'm still will be nice to you. We can still chat. You can, I love the support. I never am like mean when they shoot their shot, but it's like, it's like a gentle curve. It's like, oh,
Okay,
that's so
thank
sweet.
you. You slid in here, I'm gonna slide it back.
So I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get my shit together, girl. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
not right now.
Thank
I
you.
need some time on that.
You say hi.
Hi.
People don't understand the delicacy in nap time,
Bro.
because if you let them nap a minute too long, that's your nighttime.
Absolutely. And if you wake them up too early, now they screaming, they crying, they upset. To just wake them up at the right moment, bro, you got to do it right. And we got our whole routine, especially for my 3-year-old. It's like I won't go in there first. I'll make sure I go in right before I go into the door. I turn the little sound, the little rain off. Then when he turns the rain off, his body will start waking up. Then I open the door and I go in there. I'm like, hey, you gotta give him some good positive energy. He'll wake up and smile and stuff. If I switch any of that around, it ain't gonna look good. And if you try to skip,
Nah, yeah, man.
now try to skip nap time, oh, it's game over. Some of my friends who don't got kids don't know
Skipping
that.
nap time. That shit really will really make you look at sleep differently. It's like, you need sleep. You need this for real. Like, this is not a joke. Your body needs rest, or we gonna fight.
Yes. And you don't know in the beginning. Like, people might tell you, or maybe they don't tell you. Like that first hour, like when you think you might can get past the nap time, right? If they go down at like 12, it might be good. Yeah, do you think they might be good?
No, I was. Now you right.
Yeah. And then when you hit like 3, 4 o'clock, you're like, dang it. They start acting like Godzilla. Like they literally walking through, they crying about everything, whining and all that. And you're like, oh yeah, we probably should have went to sleep. But now it's 4 o'clock and they go to bed at 7. It's too late. You can't put them down.
It's too late.
So now you gotta survive
It's too late.
through this thing, bro. It's not fun. Not fun at all.
Nah, man. The moments where I realized I was too late for a nap, I was just like, it's my fault. And don't let you have to do any type of car rides when it's in the too late nap period. It's like, please don't let them blink. don't blink on this car ride. It's like, because now that little 5-minute nap, you don't know when they going to sleep.
But that gives them so much energy. It's the scariest thing in the world to just get to sleep for 5 minutes, and now you can't put them down to sleep for like 2 hours. They're like, well, now we got to skip it, bro. Like you be trying. I've tried everything, throwing things. I've thrown things in the back seat. Handed them Cheeto puffs and pretzels and stuff. I got their brothers shaking their hands and we singing Miss Rachel. I'm so happy. I'm trying everything to keep them awake, bro.
I didn't grab her foot and she kicked me and stayed asleep. I was like, damn, man.
I tried.
So I really lost this battle.
You be about to run off the road trying to grab a foot in the back car seat, man. That junk is not the move, bro. Not the move at all.
Trying to grab their face. Like, come on, man, please. Just push my hand.
Man, get on.
Say, there's no way you're sleeping good. There's no way you're in your REM cycle in this car.
Right, you know exactly what you're doing. But one of the last questions I really wanted to ask you before we get off here, and maybe I'll ask one more as we kind of depart. We talked about the ideal woman, right? What about the ideal father that you want to be? What is the ideal father that you want to be and the relationship you want to have with
her? That's a good question. Ideally, I don't know. I think when she gets older, I want her to be able to look back and be like, my dad was there. I can touch your leg. I want her to be able to be like, my dad was there and he loved me for sure. Like that's like one of the main things. It would suck. She got to 18. She was like, my dad whack as hell. And so that's like the main thing. Right now, it's like, I just want to like I want to teach her things. There's so much about the world. Like it's like so much shit to know. It's like how do I instill all of these lessons in it? It's like I can't do it all at once, and I know that. And so just finding out ways to show up every single day. It's like that's ideally. It all comes down to effort because shit, the world could look different tomorrow. My baby. You can't see a baby. You gotta lift her up.
Hi, baby.
And so it's really, you know, for me, it's like we're so much about effort because the world is always changing. What's coming down the pipeline looks different. Shit, COVID, you know, I feel like that showed us that like anything could change tomorrow, and now we're in a whole nother reality. Yeah. And so just making sure I'm showing up and loving her every day, and you know, shit, you know, doing a little bit better than I did yesterday.
Amen. And last question before hopping off, if you can talk to the fathers out there who either may be in a challenging situation or in the same spot that you're in right now, what words of encouragement would you give them?
Words of encouragement. Every day is going to be different, and that shit is okay. It's going to be days where, you know, you are not the best parent, and there's going to be days where you know, top of the line, and you got to accept yourself at all levels, you know. It's really just about showing up. It's so cliche, but it's like that's the bare minimum. Like, there's no specific advice because everybody's situation looks different. But as long as you are showing up and genuinely loving the kid, then you are doing the best you can do. And also seek counsel. Probably shit. Like always accept that input from others that, you know, you shit, because you don't know what you're doing. This shit is new to everybody.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. This was everything I thought it would be plus more. If the people are looking for you and they're looking to find you on social media or otherwise, how can they find
you? Comedian Jecorey is my name on Instagram and TikTok, those and YouTube, all those areas. So if you find me there, definitely that's where you can find me. Also, I want to say to you, I appreciate you, good sir, for creating a space and a platform for fathers, especially Black fathers, to just come and talk about fatherhood. It's something we didn't like really have. No, you can't have no candy right now. It's something that, you know, we didn't always see growing up, and it's something that's not as popular as it really, you know, in the limelight of things. So shouts to you for having this space, man. You know, kudos.
Thanks, man. I truly do appreciate it. Can't wait to have you on here again. I'll be following you. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to come see a set. Maybe you can. Maybe I'll come down there. But thank you again for sharing your time, brother. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, good sir, man. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for watching. You just listened to Here for the Dads podcast with Meyer Crawl. I am so grateful that you're here. But if you're new to this space, what I need you to do is slow down and subscribe, share, review, or rate. Whatever you can to help me out, because I'm on a journey to create a space for existing fathers and new fathers that's going to allow them to be a little bit more confident and a little bit more efficient at what they're doing. Thank you.